Ma'am, please start.
Yes, thank you. A very good morning to all the participants of the 21 days winter school. So, I'm very happy to introduce before you the speaker of the day, Dr. Amol K. Bhalerao, who is working as a scientist of agriculture extension in the Training and Education Center of ICR, Indian Veterinary Research Institute, Pune at Maharashtra. So, I'll briefly introduce the speaker of the day. Dr. Amol Bhalerao, he is a humanitarian and open-minded scientist of agriculture extension discipline, and he has been serving the ICR since the last 11 years. Dr. Bhalerao, he is it is a sustainable development of Indian agriculture is a dream of Dr. Bhalerao. Hence, his research and extension activities are focused to combat the adversities of climate change. Dr. Bhalerao is a recipient of the prestigious Netaji Subhash ICR International Fellowship, and he has earned his doctorate from the University of Hamburg, Germany. And before that, he has done his BSc in agriculture from PTKV Akola, and later on he did his masters from IRI New Delhi. Dr. Bhalerao he had a very active student life with his visionary contributions. He was one of the founders of the AIASA, that is the All India Agricultural Students Association, and he is well known for his bold nature, optimistic attitude, excellent presentation, and public speaking skills, which are essential for a true extension specialist or the scientist. And as I told you, he's working at the Training and Education Center of Pune, which is a regional station of the IVRI. And as a part of his scientific social responsibility, Dr. Bhalerao is on a mission to empower the young researchers as well as students. Therefore, the Tech Pune IVRI is regularly organizing numerous training programs to empower the youth with appropriate soft skills, knowledge, and competence. And interested candidates, they can get connected with him via LinkedIn and YouTube to get the updates of upcoming trainings and workshops. Dr. Bhalerao will be more than happy to help you because he firmly believes that youth is the future and youth is the superpower to shape up the sustainable human civilization. So, with this brief introduction, I invite the speaker of the day, Dr. Amol Bhalerao, to present his talk on the topic, the stress management. Dr. Bhalerao, please.
Good morning, ma'am. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction, and I'm really happy to be with you. This is really interesting session for me also. I'm requesting organizers, can you please tell me in one or two lines about the participants, like who are they exactly?
Yeah, they include the PhD scholars, assistant professors, and a few associate professors also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, without any further delay, I will start my presentation. A very good morning to all of you, my dear friends and colleagues, like who are in service candidates. It's a really wonderful opportunity for me to interact with all of you and deliver a session on the stress management. Nowadays, everyone says I am very much stressed. Work is very stressful. Life is very stressful. But most of the time we keep complaining about the stress and we don't how to say spend enough time, adequate amount of time to understand it and to minimize it. So in this particular presentation, my focus is explaining the stress in its socio-economic cultural dimension. I'm not from the medical sciences or veterinary sciences, so I know only a little bit of about endorphin and cortisol only, but I'm a social scientist. I'm from extension discipline. So we will talk about the social angle of a stress management, which is the real cause of or real cause for many individuals who feel stress. So let us begin with the stress management presentation. Guys, I will be very honest with you. You won't believe the last week was extremely stressful for me. Like so many things are happening parallelly in my life. I was the most stressed guy in my office or in my team, but I thought this is the perfect timing for me to prepare a presentation for a stress management because I was stressed and I was able to experience it. And then again, I was thinking like how best I can reduce it in my own life. So from those particular recent and very fresh experiences, I have prepared this presentation with you. And what I found, or what I can summarize is, the greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. Your one negative thought is enough to put you in a big realm of stress or distress or depression. So, what is your greatest weapon? Your ability to choose one thought over the other. If you feel that there is one very strong, promising, negative thought popping up in your head, please encounter it with any other good, positive, or encouraging thought. This is my own experience. So, what is stress? Stress is your body's natural response to challenges and demands. And if you are not able to fulfill the challenge, if you are not able to cope up with the demands, maybe the demands from the work, demands from the family, demands from the peer, demands from the friends, I don't know, anyone and everyone from your life circle or the present state of life, then your body will definitely show some signs of a stress, and it can be triggered by external events and our thoughts. See, now we are talking about the triggers. Some external events, they can definitely trigger the stress, but in reality, my dear friends, it's your thoughts who really decide whether it will go in your head or not. And if you keep processing it for a long period of time, you will become even more stressful. So please mind your thought. Please have a control on your thought process. Stress is not inherently negative. Sometimes it can be motivating. Sometimes it can give you a kick to perform nicely also. But most of the times, if you are not able to control it, if you are not able to turn the tables, then definitely it will harm you. It involves physiological as well as the psychological responses. And stress can manifest in your body. You can also see, like, sometimes you can see like your heart is racing, increased heart rate. Many people feel anxiety. Many people feel that their throat is drying. They are feeling thirsty. Mouth is completely dry. Palms are sweaty. So these are the signs which you can observe in your own body, that yes, at present I'm feeling stressful. But there is one analogy in the science of economics. They say that 5% inflation is good for the economy. It will give a kind of a push or boost to the economy. And on the same line, you have to remember that yes, if it is a 5 to 10% of stress, it will act as a performance fuel for you. For example, you're in a conference, you're about to deliver a wonderful presentation, and you see the chief minister of a state and the vice chancellor of a university and all, how to say, respected people from your particular discipline, then definitely you will feel a little bit stress. Or if you're not able to control your stress, then maybe too much stress. But if you take it positively, yes, this is my time to impress all my senior officers, and this is the time for me, this is the moment for me to impress them all, then definitely it will act as a fuel for your performance. People experience stress differently, and your ability to experience stress depends on your coping skill and perceptions, how you perceive it. And understanding stress is essential for the effective management of a stress. So this is the first and most important uh, submission from my side. Please understand that you are under stress, or this is a routine life for you. Now, there are some type of stress wherein environmental stressors are there, and they are mainly triggered by your surrounding. For example, some people who are used to live in a very peaceful ambience, whenever they are exposed to the noise, they feel stress. There are some people who feel stress because of a social stress, social stressors. For example, if they get some roles in a society or in a relationship, they feel stress. For example, maybe on one particular fine day, you are chairman or president of your particular apartment or housing society, and everyone is calling you, "Arey sir, pani nahi aa raha hai ghar mein, arey sir, pipeline toot gayi." So these kind of things can definitely give you stress because you are not prepared for them. And physiological stressors affect the body directly, such as many people feel that yes, I'm feeling sick. I'm feeling tired. The continuously, if you're feeling tired, then definitely you are inviting that pitiful aging in your body. Some people feel that their hairs are turning gray with a much faster rate. Some people say that because of a stress now they're experiencing baldness. And most of the times, or what I feel in my own experience also, these cognitive stressors, they depend on our thoughts and interpretations. See, we really cannot control our thoughts. If we try to block something in our how to say, in our brain, it will come again and again. You try to suppress one bad thought, it will pop up again and again. So sometimes let it go is the best strategy. But if you keep interpreting that one particular thought again and again with I don't know, 1,000 dimensions per second, then definitely you will feel too much stress, and stress can result from both positive and negative sources. If you get immediately an office order that from tomorrow you're a vice chancellor of university, and from tomorrow you're a chief minister of a state, something like that, you will definitely feel stress. So it is not just negative situations, the positive situations can also create or generate a lot of stress in your life. And therefore my second submission is recognizing the distinction is crucial for effective stress management, whether this is a positive stress or negative stress, or it is a stress because I'm processing it in a wrong way. You have to create this distinction to understand, yes, this is a positive stress, and now I'm going to manage it for improving my performance. Or maybe it's a negative stress, but I will perceive it in a completely different way so that it won't hamper my performance. So when we talk about the sources of a stress, the primary sources are environmental, social, physiological, and cognitive, as we discussed. But there are some people, I'm explaining it in a little bit more detailed way, because sometimes people feel stressed because of environmental stressors, but they are not able to understand it, and then they blame it to someone else. अरे यार मैं मीटिंग में उसके बगल में बैठ गया इसलिए मैं परेशान हो गया, पता नहीं. It's not like that. You please understand, like, what is the cause of that particular stress. If you are from Jammu and Kashmir, and if you're coming to the Vidarbha region of Maharashtra for attending one particular training, you will definitely feel too much stress because of a weather variation. Some people, for example, those who are living in the hills, they are used to live in a very sporadic population areas. But you land in a Mumbai or land in a Kolkata, and suddenly you see lakhs of people on the street. I feel panic. So when I see too much crowd, I feel panic sometimes. Some people, they are not used to hear noise continuously. uh, I already explained you like a social status and role of a different role when you get in a society. But sometimes if you're supposed to give like a care to someone, caregiving and parenting, that is also a very stressful job. Now a few days back I was a very perfect guy, because I had a very perfect sleep schedule. And now my son is almost 5 months old, my younger son, and sometimes he cries for no reason at night. Maybe he has his own reason to cry, but I don't understand, and then my sleep is disturbed. So sometimes these changes in roles can also create a lot of stress in your life. And the physiological stressors, they result from the bodily impact. Sometimes you are organizing a conference, you are running entire day here and there, so you're not stressed because of a conference, but you are stressed because of too much walking. Please delineate. Cognitive stressors depend on our interpretations of thoughts, situations, incidences. So sometimes when you see people putting a very emotional, satirical, or sentimental status on a WhatsApp, they are also trying to convey that I am in a huge stress. जब अपने धोखा देते हैं तो जख्म बहुत बड़ा होता है, ये घाव भरते नहीं है. Something people keep posting on their social media pages. So when you hear something like this, and if it's your family member or friend, you can decode that this person is going through mental or emotional stress, and maybe because of wrong interpretation of a situation. So my third submission is recognize the source, delineate the source. Once you look at a source of a stress, it's very easy to go for a stress management. So my second, like a favorite quote on a stress management is, all stress begins with one negative thought. If you are feeling stressed, please detect what was that one negative thought which started this particular vicious cycle of stress in your life, and you try to address that thought. Okay, so stress can cause a lot of damages in your body, in your life. Chronic stress can lead to weakened immune system, and during the COVID period, it was like a nightmare for all of us. So it was a challenge to maintain the immunity as well as manage the stress in the family. It was a very stressful situation. But see, life is a very challenging, and that is why we have to take care of ourselves in such a way that yes, I'm feeling stress, but now immediately I will work to manage it, I will work to minimize it, because my strong immune system is very important for my own well-being, or for the well-being of my family. So please understand it. Stress affects your physical health and it can contribute to various illnesses. And you see, after this COVID 19 pandemic, even today, people are scared of cough and cold and pneumonia and whatnot, everything. So it is not good sometimes to, how to say, to torture ourselves with one negative thought again and again, that you will fall sick. Okay, so please understand that if you hold on to some kind of a negative thought for a long period of time, it will definitely affect you, your health and your well-being. And sometimes these emotional impacts like anxiety, sadness, irritability, they not only harm you, they harm your entire work group as well as your family. For example, you are irritated, you are stressed, you are frustrated, something is happening bad in your life, and suddenly your son comes like, Papa, please do this for me, and you are irritated. You, how to say, you create a scene in family and you start speaking something unreasonably to your son. "Ki, this is not a way to talk to your papa. You don't understand. I'm not in the good mood. Please go and play or do your homework," something like that. So you are kind of affecting that child. You're transferring your stress to that child unnecessarily. Please don't do it. Okay. Sometimes if it's your workplace and if you're not happy with something or something which is happening in your office, then you will feel that yes, my job is not good, now I'm experiencing very less satisfaction. And once you switch on that particular gear, that yes, I'm not much satisfied with my job, your productivity is drastically reduced, my dear friends. Because what is the supreme thought at that particular moment of time in your head? अरे इतना काम करके भी अगर कोई उसे रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं कर रहा है, तो भाई काम करना ही क्यों है? See, this is a trap. Please don't fall into this trap. You should recognize the importance of your work, and that is more important. If you feel yes, you are doing right thing at right time at right place for right people, right client, enough. Don't worry, you will definitely get job satisfaction. But please maintain your productivity. Stress can lead to emotional exhaustion also, sometimes burnout, sometimes fatigue. Yeah, there are many people who constantly complain that they feel fatigue, and stress is a primary reason, my dear friends, because it drains a lot of energy from your brain, a lot of energy from your body, and most of the time you're emotionally exhausted. So if you're a prisoner of one particular thought, and even if you go to the party, you're not enjoying, you're just physically there, you are not enjoying the life. Everyone is happy, people are coming greeting to you, you are smiling for the sake of smiling, but within few seconds again you are going back to that sad thought or negative thought. See, this is not a way of living life. And if you allow that particular thought or situation or maybe a person to harm you again and again, it will lead to a burnout. And these burnouts are very painful in the life. For example, nowadays many boys talk about this, मेरा breakup हो गया, मेरा breakup हो गया. It's just a situation. हो गया, होने दो, move on. But if you stick on to that particular thought, मेरा breakup हो गया, in a long period of time, it will be a burnout. And समटाइम्स लाइक अ स्कार, जब बॉडी पे कहीं चटका लगता है तो एक काला जख्म पड़ जाता है ना, आपकी सोच में भी वो एक पर्टिकुलर काला जख्म जैसा निशान हो जाता है कि हाँ भाई, then you will fear, no, no, it's not a good way to love someone or something, because the breakup is eventually ready in my life, something like that. So please, it's a stress, it's a stressful situation, accept it, Work to manage it, but do not allow it to damage you by different burnouts or fatigues or illnesses. Now, if you really wish to manage the stress in your life or body, or in your mental domain also, please try to understand whether it is a physical stress, emotional stress, or what are the, how to say, different behavioral signs you are communicating with others. If you can identify these particular signs of a stress, then definitely you are on a good side to manage it. Understanding that you are stressed is a prerequisite to manage it. If you keep denying, no, no, I'm not stressed, this is how I work, I feel after some point of time it is not a good work practice. Long term unmanaged stress can lead to severe mental health issues is a reality. So my dear friends, please do not ignore it. If you feel stressed, accept it, admit it, and then you find ways like how best I can minimize it or manage it. The key to dealing with the stress is simple. Stay calm and stay focused. Do not allow your emotions to overpower you. If the emotions take control of your personality, then you are a guy with immediate mood swings. And this is not at all expected from the thorough professionals. You have to maintain your calmness and focus throughout the day, throughout your job period, throughout your career, because we are very talented people on this planet. Most of us are doctors, PhD scholars, we are scientists, we are academicians. So we are already living in a club of elite people who held a responsibility to manage the knowledge domain of this planet. It's not, this job is not for everyone. You feel that you're really a special person, and if a very small situation like chai mein makhi gir gayi can irritate you, then definitely you cannot work for the global good. Okay, so please stay calm and stay focused. Now, why people don't talk about stress, this is something which again makes me a little bit nervous, because in our society there is a stigma around mental health, like going to the physiotherapist and all, or any other doctor is okay, but the moment you go to the psychologist, everyone starts whispering in the office and in the family कि इसके दिमाग में कुछ गड़बड़ चल रहा है, पता नहीं इसका क्या हो गया, पता नहीं ये mental आदमी है. And even if you go to say hello to the mental doctor, people can say कि इसका life में कुछ गड़बड़ चल रहा है या फिर ये एक mental patient है. So that stigma is something which stops us from going to the doctors who treat the mental illnesses. Or in some societies, people often perceive stress as a sign of weakness. अरे आपको तो ये बनना था, फॉर एग्जाम्पल डीन बनना था, वीसी बनना था, ये बनना था, और आप इतना छोटा सा स्ट्रेस मैनेज नहीं कर पा रहे हो. So people feel that it's a sign of weakness for me. See, my dear friends, if you are stressed, it's a normal situation. It's a normal for that particular moment ki yes, I am stressed. But please do not hold on to it for a long period of time just because someone will say that you are weak. You are a very strong person. Everyone is literally is a strong person. And nobody has a right to say whether he is weak or strong, because these definitions are not how to say universal definitions. They change, these definitions change from person to person and situation to situation. Okay, cultural and societal expectations of emotional toughness. Sometimes, for example, अरे भाई हम तो क्या बोलते हैं, हम तो एक ऐसे योद्धा वाली फैमिली से आते हैं, हमें तो स्ट्रेस वैसे सब चीजें नहीं होती है, हम तो सबसे ज्यादा स्ट्रांग है, हमारी पिछली 100 पुश्ते जंग लड़ रही है, हमें स्ट्रेस नहीं होता, हमारे खून में स्ट्रेस नहीं है. सी, दीज ऑल आर सम काइंड ऑफ अ फिल्मी डायलॉग्स, and I appeal most of the youngsters with the same thing, that my dear friends, please do not get brainwashed from the ballad. Okay, life, like there's a distinction between real life and real life. In a real life, yes, emotional toughness you definitely have to exhibit, but it's okay to be emotionally sensitive person. uh, Do you remember that incidents wherein our Chandrayaan landing was failed and former head of ISRO was like he was literally crying and our honorable PM sir was there. So it's okay to be emotional because if you're doing good and if you see failure, no problem. There are people who understand the value of your hard work and definitely it will be appreciated. So please don't carry this unnecessary invisible tag that I am emotionally very tough guy. We need people, we need individuals, we need professionals who are emotionally sensitive. Okay. Sometimes fear of judgment, what others will say to me if I go to this mental doctor or mental hospital, what they will talk, and that fear of judgment from others, that is something which is very much strong in our society. So if you feel stress and at some point of time you need some support, please feel free to get that support. Don't think about the people, it's your life. Okay. Some people, they do not even have the appropriate amount of awareness like how to get support or where it is available, to which helpline I should call. Okay. That awareness you have to create. And the tendency to normalize stress and not recognizing its effect, this is also a very very serious crime, what I see. My dear friends, you are the most important person in a family. If you are stressed and if you are normalizing stress, it means that in your entire family, you are normalizing a stressful situation. And after some point of time, your children, your wife, they will all say, yeah, it's a normal. But my dear friends, please believe it's not normal. In the long term, it will definitely harm you, your health, and your well being. Encouraging open discussions about stress is also crucial to overcoming these barriers. Some people, they don't talk about their stress. So it's not, if you cannot talk about your stress at workplace, you go to your family members, you talk to them, maybe talk to your brother, maybe talk to your I don't know, friend from the childhood. Once you let it go, once you open up, I feel that yes, like our society is well trained to conceal your wounds and to give you a support. So once you open your heart to the friends, there is no need to open your heart by going to the heart specialist. व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी पे एक मैसेज घूमता है ना, अगर दोस्तों के सामने कभी दिल खोल दिया होता तो आज हार्ट डॉक्टर के सामने उसे खोलने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. So yes, it's kind of a true. If you have some good friends, please talk to them. It's a kind of a pressure. If you feel that pressure is building inside, you let it go. But most of us work in the veterinary science, and I'm also new to the veterinary institute. And after looking at their work culture, I was able to answer this question, like why veterinarians experience more stress. Here are some of the reasons. Veterinarians deal with the emotional toll of working with sick animals, and our patients, they don't tell to us like what's really happening. So this is really stressful, and sometimes the diagnosis is challenging, and it's really tough to make treatment decisions because all human doctors, they treat humans, whereas the veterinary doctors, one day they treat cow, another day they treat elephant, another day there is a horse, another day there is a dog, someday there is a sheep, and their medicines vary, their protocols vary. So there are so many complexities, and this is very complex. Like earlier I was not aware about this, but after joining TCIVRI Pune, I started understanding this thing. And witnessing animal suffering can lead to sadness and helplessness. Like at some moment or at some particular time, you feel that there is no treatment for this particular thing, and that is a very helpless decision. uh, in certain situations, when you see a very strong bond with the patients and owners, and the patient is crying for a dog or his cat and asking you to save them, and so many social dynamics play around, it enhances your emotional stress. My dear friends, let me quote one example over here. I'm from the discipline of agricultural extension. I'm not from the veterinary sciences, but our institute, sometimes organizes a training program on a fracture fixation, and we went to the polyclinic for demonstrating certain fractures. And there was one dog brought by one family. That particular dog had some terminal disease, and finally the panel of a doctor decided to euthanize that dog. And when the family started crying, I am who is a extension scientist. I also started crying for no reason, and that was my first encounter with the situation like that. And I was really stressful that particular day. I was experiencing enormous emotional stress. So this is my own example, and maybe most of us experience it. So that is one cause like why veterinarians experience more stress. Sometimes the ethical dilemmas and balancing client expectation can definitely add to their stress. And long working hours, high client expectation, heavy workloads, they contribute to exhaustion. In our particular training program on a fracture fixation, we plan in such a way that we will do 4 surgeries today, uh, for different type of fractures: condylar, supracondylar, then tibia, fibia, something. But when they give a cut to the patient after anesthesia, and when they see inside, the fracture is more complex than they assume, and it takes more time. And sometimes our respected Ethel sir is doing the surgery up to like 10 or 11 p.m. at night. This is great amount of exhaustion. So now I can understand like why veterinarians feel more stress. So once again, I'm trying to sum up. The stress results from our cognitive evaluation of situations. So if you feel a kind of a negative thought is trying to enter in your head, block it, deviate that particular thought. Do not allow that thought to control your happy state of mind. Okay, your response to the stress depends on your perceived ability to cope. Definitely at some point of time you will feel stress, but on the same hand you have to empower yourself in such a way that yes, if it's a stressful situation, definitely I will cope up. And that is why you have to keep certain strategies ready for a stress management or coping the stress. Stress isn't solely caused by negative events. This is what I have said to you. Our unique perceptions and coping mechanism, they affect how we respond to the stress. And different people respond differently to the same situation. So maybe today a dog fracture or a death of a pet dog is not stressful for you, but maybe tomorrow the same situation can give you a lot of stress. So please be ready for it, and please be ready to minimize that stress from your life. And stress can stem from our thoughts and interpretations. So please stop interpreting negative thoughts again and again. It's a kind of a vicious wave of cycle. There is only entry and there is no exit, literally. So please stop harming yourself. Now, let us talk about positive stress and distress. Positive stress can be motivating and performance enhancing. So 5 to 10% positive stress is always okay. It's always acts as a fuel or energy for you. Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Some participants are raising hands. May I know, please, why they are raising the hands?
I think by mistake, just like that. Yeah.
Okay, my
Yeah.
dear friends, you will get enough time to ask your questions. Okay, please be with me. And distress is detrimental. It affects your health. It is adversely affecting your health. Do not allow it to linger. If it is a bad thought, if it is a negative thought, if it is a disturbing thought, control it. Deviate yourself from that particular thought, observe it, manage it, block it, and move to the next possible alternative of a good thought, happy thought, or maybe encouraging thought. And have some goal in your life, which I call always a kind of a high level aim or high level goal in your life. So me delivering a 3-day training workshop alone for the For the university student is very stressful. For your information, sometimes we conduct 3-day workshop on academic writing, like how to write research papers and publish them in a high impact factor journal. So in those training program, I literally start like how to choose words to write a sentence, how to write sentence, how to write paragraph, how to link paragraphs, how to write different sections in the paper. So from like literally A to Z, and for a 3 days it's very stressful, like me speaking continuously 9 to 5 for 3 days, only one resource person, and people have n number of difficulties. But it's a stressful if I look at it like, yes, it's a stressful and I have to only speak for 3 days, but I'm not at all stressed when I deliver this workshop, because my goal is a sustainable development, and I'm helping you, I'm empowering you, my dear trainees, to work for sustainable development. So that high level goal is very important for me. So this is how you have to change the table for that particular negative thought. Okay. Stress can result from both positive and negative sources. I'm telling this again and again because sometimes too much happiness, and if you're not able to manage it, can create a lot of stress in your life. Okay. Recognizing distinction between these two forms is crucial. So even if it is a happy stress, positive stress, you learn to manage it. Even if it is a negative stress, you learn to turn the table that yes, it's a negative situation, but I will not keep it negative for a long period of time in my life. I will use all my Sam Nam Danda Ved, mental frame, mental power, superpower, everything and anything to make it or turn it into a positive stress or maybe a positive situation. Positive stress drives excitement, while distress leads to apprehension. My dear friend, you have seen that particular bungee jump type of thing in many videos or at many places it's happening. It's a very, how to say, happy or a goal, travel goal for many individuals. But the moment you go to that particular sport side, you will understand like, yes, it's a very stressful, but it's a stress plus excitement. But if it is a distress, then definitely it will create some kind of apprehension, some kind of a fear, some kind of anxiety, some kind of a hostility in your mind. So you have to take life as a bungee jumping only, that even if there is a stress, I will think of it as a positive stress, and it will act as a fuel for my performance. And these both sides, if they are not managed properly, they can affect your well-being. So you are important, your well-being is important. So there are some personal stressors in your life which can also create a lot of how to say, stressful situation or imbalances in your life. For example, loss of loved ones, illness. It's not maybe your, but illness in family or close friends' life, financial struggles. Then some personal positive stressors can be promotions and marriages. Marriage as a stress is a gray area. I don't want to talk about it more. And both types profoundly impact your well-being. Okay, you please remember, positive, negative can both profoundly affect your well-being. So be cautious all the time. And personal stressors can disrupt your mental and emotional equilibrium. If you want to remain in a productive zone, for example, our job is a kind of academician wherein we think, we conduct experiment, and then we write a thesis or publication or paper. In order to conduct this particular creative activity, you have to maintain your mental and emotional equilibrium all the time. If you are mentally disturbed, you cannot even write one line. But if you are happy, I don't know, maybe within 2 or 3 days you can write a very good research paper if you're a well-trained scientist. So these depend on your mental and emotional equilibrium to stay in a positive zone. And therefore, I'm telling you again and again, recognize the stressors and then work intelligently to manage them. And balance between positive and negative stressor is also essential. Okay, please don't expect that I will get only positive stresses in my life and not negative stress in my life. No, it's not like that. Life is all about up and downs, plus and minuses. So most of the time plus is followed by negative and negative is followed by positive. And therefore, my humble submission to all of you, adopting the right attitude can convert a negative stress into a positive one. Adopting the right attitude can convert a negative stress into a positive one. This is like a higher level alchemy. This is what I can say. If you can convert your negative thought into positive one with appropriate right attitude, then you will live something like a king size life on this planet. So there is one data published by this particular statistic organization, and life's most stressful events were listed out in one chart. So the death of spouse, divorce, marital suppression are the top three stressors. Yeah, for some people, death of a close family member, injury, illnesses, marriages, fired from the work, or marital reconciliation. These all are also stressful activity. For some people, retirement is a stress. Change in the health of family member is also stress. Pregnancy. So if you look, there are n number of things which can create stress in your life. But if you allow each and everything to create a kind of a disturbance in your life, then how you will live a life in a productive zone? That is a question. So if you wish to live your life in a productive zone, please learn to manage the stress. Please adopt the right attitude and convert negative stress into the positive one. And when I was thinking critically again and again about our veterinarian friends, sometimes the people who are in the practice or who conduct surgery, the client expectation which are unrealistic can create a lot of stress in their life. So please explain them, give them proper orientation and counseling before conducting surgery or something. Okay, long working hours leads to exhaustion. Please accept it. So please manage your work effectively in such a way that you can complete or you can finish your job for a particular day in a very how to say, office time limit. If you are working like a 9 to 5, please plan your things in a such a way that by 5 you will be free to go home happily. Sometimes ethical dilemmas, whether to use animal for this experiment or not, because after this I have to kill this 400 rats and all. So these ethical dilemmas can cause moral stress also. So please follow the guidelines and regulations given by your institute in a very logical way. Handling client and patient expectation is also challenging. And I'm talking about this again and again because uh, in veterinary sciences nowadays, the people are more connected to their pet than their family members. And this is a very tricky as well as very stressful scenario for my veterinary friends. So please learn to manage or communicate things properly with the patient, the owner of a patient. Now, overwork and highly workload can intensify the stress levels. Please accept it. So do not overwork and do not take heavy workloads. If you can delegate something to others, that is perfect thing to do. And balancing professionalism and personal ethics is also sometimes challenging. And if you add the family dimension to it or well-being of yourself, then the situation becomes even more complex. So my dear friends, sometimes somewhere you have to learn the work management or the, actually it's called as a time management principle, but you cannot really manage the time. You can simply manage your work or activities according to the availability of a time. So if possible, you please attend that workshop wherein you will learn some good tips and strategies to work your to manage your works according to the available resources, including time. Now, for my veterinary friends, stress manifests physically, emotionally, and behaviorally. So, early recognition is crucial for intervention. And if you're experiencing fatigue, sleep disturbances, headaches, then definitely it is good time to understand that you are experiencing stress. These are the common signs. Okay. So if you can detect it early, you can manage it early. And sometimes at your emotional state, if you are experiencing sadness for no reason, irritability for no reason, and continuously you are experiencing the trap of anxiety, you are worried all day, then it's a moment to think positively that yes, am I stressed? Is there something wrong with my working style? And if it is a kind of a physical stress, then also you take a pause, go to the vacation, get refreshed, and then join your duties. My dear friends, recognizing the signs of stress helps in timely intervention, and that timely intervention is very important to protect yourself from the permanent burnouts. Awareness of behavioral signs, for example, social withdrawal is important sign to detect if your colleague is experiencing stress in your office or in your team. A happy guy, a smiley guy, the guy who was joking entire day, who was very jolly, and sometimes suddenly he's not talking to anyone, he's sitting on his computer pretending that he is working but not productive. This is your responsibility to go and intervene and understand, like, brother, what is happening? Please, he will not speak, or maybe she will not speak. It's your duty, it's your moral duty to talk to them, because social withdrawal is a kind of a tipping point from where, if not intervene, person can fall into the trap of depression. Okay. Prioritizing self-care is first and foremost strategy to manage the stress. If you wish to cope with stress in your life, the self-care is very important. And that is why exercise, nutrition, and quality sleep is highly recommended. And once you follow these three things properly in your life, you will feel that they are helping you to build a kind of resilience against stress. But nowadays, people pay attention only to the convenience and not to the health. Like few days back, I was talking to some individuals in my family, like how to prepare a smoothie of a chlorophyll and how to add citrus fruit and the green leaves and this particular salt and this fruit with a pill, and then create a smoothie of 1 liter and drink it. It will help you for a good bowel movement and everything. They say it is very complicated. Who will do it every day? And people who buy convenience, they do not buy health. Eating samosa is very convenient. So when we eat samosa, we don't think of a health hazards and anything. It's a readily available. But if I recommend you a kind of a chlorophyll smoothie for your own brain and gut health, we don't have time for it. Same thing happens with exercise. Ah, even my boss says me, Amol, tum thoda exercise karo. But sometimes, like, exercise is a last priority. We are scientists. We are not gladiators to fight in an arena. So, okay, no issues. But my dear friends, please try to balance these three things in your life: exercise, nutrition, and quality sleep. Balanced diet is very important for your physical and mental health. And if possible, adopt healthy lifestyle choices. If you know that samosa and oily food is not good for you, learn to say no to it. There, like, a new year is coming on the 1st of January, probably 99.99% people on this planet will make some commitment. आज से मैं जिम जाऊंगा, आज से मैं स्मोकिंग छोड़ दूंगा, आज से मैं ये नहीं करूंगा, आज से मैं वो नहीं करूंगा. And only for 5 to 6 days they maintain their tempo, and after that they become normal, because everybody wants to live a normal life. Nobody wants to live a life with a commitment and the discipline. So if you want to be happy in long term, if you want to give happiness to all, and if you really wish to work for the sustainable development of the planet, you have to make certain strong commitments that yes, I will reduce the use of plastic from my life. No matter what happens, from the 1st of January, I will not use plastic in my life. Something like that. Or I will stop eating non-vegetarian food. Or I will, like, permanently, I will quit smoking. Something like that. Okay. Regular exercise increases endorphin and it releases and reduces the stress hormones, that is cortisol. So you know the chemistry and biochemistry of these two, but this is what we tell to the people, that please do exercise, it will reduce your cortisol. Talking to the colleagues or therapists help in emotional release. My dear friends, I did my PhD in Germany and I have seen how lonely people are there in Europe. We Indians are very lucky because of our very strong social fabric. Even if you have a small problem, entire office will come to talk to you. अरे भाई कुछ नहीं होता, अरे तो चलते ही रहता है, अरे it's okay, no problem. So this is our asset. This is our biggest strength. If you are feeling stressed and you don't want to go to therapist, no problem. At least talk to your colleagues. They will help you out. Mindfulness and meditation, they are perfect to reduce your anxiety and enhance well-being. So mindfulness is a state of awakeness, or it's a conscious state wherein you understand, like, yes, which emotions are overpowering you, which negative thoughts are dominating your brain. Please activate that mindfulness all the time. Stay awake, stay cautious, and stay alert. Okay. Encouraging these practices is essential for your well-being, because once you are in touch with the mindfulness and little bit of meditation, like say 10 or 15 minutes of meditation every day, you will be able to experience the difference. Like, yes, something good is happening inside. Because stress is mainly an emotional phenomenon, like a psychological phenomenon. Like if your body is tired, if you are experiencing physical stress, you take 8 hours or 9 hours of sleep, you will feel refreshed next day. But if you're going through an emotional stress, then you need emotional coping mechanism. And that is why mindfulness and meditation, they play important role over here. And sometimes sharing experiences can provide a wonderful emotional support. For example, दो बंदे बात कर रहे, एक ने बोला यार मेरी बीवी ने आज मुझे ऐसा उल्टा अनाप शनाप बोल दिया. द मोमेंट अनदर गाय सेज, अरे जिंदगी में पहली बार बोला क्या, मेरी तो रोज बोलती है, आई का पूरा दर्द कम हो गया. अच्छा तेरे घर में रोज का सीन है, अच्छा तो मेरे लाइफ में पहली बार हुआ, तो फिर तो कोई ज्यादा लोड लेने की जरूरत नहीं है, चलो चाय पीते हैं, खुश होकर घर जाते हैं. So this is how sometimes experience sharing helps you to minimize your stress. It's not the load, my dear friends. It's not the load that breaks you. It's the way you carry it. काम करने से कोई नहीं मरा है, लेकिन सही काम भी अगर गलत तरीके से करोगे तो वो आपको दर्द देगा, पीड़ा देगा, आपको स्ट्रेसफुल बनाएगा. So it's not the load that breaks you, it's the way you carry it. Learn to carry your load properly without stressing yourself. Now, coming to the efficient time management, if you can manage your activities according to the available resources and the time, definitely you will be less stressed individual. But you need to learn and adopt these techniques. Learn to prioritize your task and setting boundaries. Like, I will not work beyond 5, whatever it is. I will prioritize my work. I will be more productive from today. I will complete my all essential activities in time, and I will start setting boundaries. रात को 9 बजे सोना है, मतलब सोना ही है. बात खत्म, no discussion. Okay. A balance between personal and professional life is also very much vital. You cannot keep mixing them all the time. You have to set boundaries. Like, this is my professional life, I am a scientist, but the moment I enter in the family, I am a husband, I am a son to the, I am a father to my son, and also the son to my father. So I have to take care of all of them. You have to balance this personal and professional life. And striking balance between work and life is very essential if you are concerned about your well-being. ऑफिस को नाराज करके आप घर वालों को खुश नहीं कर सकते, और घर वालों को नाराज करके आप ऑफिस वालों को भी खुश नहीं कर सकते. So please, I'm telling you again and again, I'm requesting you, Start setting boundaries. It will help you to manage your workload, and if possible, attend some good workshop on efficient time management. Because nowadays everyone feels I'm too much overwhelmed with a lot of works. If you can learn to manage it, definitely there is a way out. You can do anything. Please remember, you can do anything, but not everything. Please remember, you can do anything, but not everything. And you are not supposed to do everything also. If you are a scientist, your job as a scientist is much more important. It's a national priority. You please uh, keep some time reserve every day for conducting and practicing science. Okay? Because that's your core activity. Remaining things, you prioritize them later. Please help others also in your family also to reduce the stigma around mental health, that it is okay to go to the psychiatrist and talk to them. Sometimes if you want, you make them confidential. You don't submit a bill in the office if you feel that अगर मैं psychiatrist का bill office में reimbursement के लिए लगाऊंगा तो मेरे office में corruption अब बातें शुरू हो जाएंगी. It's your responsibility. The services are always accessible. You have to locate them. And it's your duty to make it confidential. अगर आप खुद आपका सीक्रेट नहीं रख सकते ना, तो किसी को बता के उससे ये उम्मीद मत करो कि ये आपका सीक्रेट अभी सीक्रेट रखेगा. ओके? Seeking help is a proactive step toward well-being, and it's a normal. My dear friends, seeking help is a normal. अपने कलीग से बात करो, अपने फैमिली से बात करो, अपने बॉस से बात करो. It's very, very normal. Early intervention is very essential in managing stress, because झगड़ा बहुत आगे बढ़ जाएगा, आपको लाइफ टाइम के लिए कोई बर्नआउट हो जाएगा, आपके दिल में वो जख्म हमेशा के लिए रह जाएगा. उसके बाद वो क्या बोलते हैं ना, स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट करके या फिर थेरेपी करके कोई ज्यादा फायदा नहीं होता है ना. प्रिवेंशन इज मच बेटर देन क्योर. इन द सेम वे, अर्ली इंटरवेंशन इज क्रूशियल फॉर मैनेजिंग स्ट्रेस. And professional help, it is not about eating tablets and piercing yourself with a lot of injections. Sometimes one practical guidance or advice can change your life dramatically. Drastically, it can change your entire life. So please don't feel hesitated to go to the psychiatrist or the professional guys if you need any advice or guidance. And let us have open discussion. Encourage the open discussion about mental health. Yes, no issues. It's very easy to it's very easy to say that to someone, "Arey wo mental hai, arey wo psycho hai." But it's very difficult to bring that individual to the normal state of mind wherein he can perform optimally in your workplace. So encourage open discussion and build your own supportive network. Your family, your friends, your peers, they can, that particular social support can drastically and significantly reduce your stress level. You know, your office, your peers, their help is very important. For example, you have to file a particular documents for your promotion and they are asking it within 2 days. Alone you cannot do it, but this is a time you have to call for the help. Like, my dear friends, this is a deadline, this is the thing we have to do now, can you please help me? The moment say they yes, delegate some works to them and get it done. And many professional organizations offer resources as well as the support in your town, in your city. If you look for the support, you will find there are some NGOs, some governmental organization also, some hospitals also. So you have to create a kind of a networking for them. Maybe you go to them, you tell about your institution and organize one free workshop or maybe half-day workshop in your institute about your well-being, protecting your mental health. This is what you can do for yourself also and for the entire institute also. You can take many good initiatives. Okay, networking and peer support are essential for well-being. Nowadays, many people, they don't understand the networking, professional networking in a real sense. So if you get any opportunity to attend this workshop on networking, please do attend. My institute, Training and Education Center, IVRI Pune, sometimes we organize it. It's a 3-day long workshop, mostly online mode. If you get time, attend it. Your outlook for the professionalism will be changed forever. As I told you earlier, sharing experiences can help you good mental support, and being a part of professional organization can also reduce stress level. So if your passion is about animal welfare, you can join one or two groups, for example this Rotary Club, or there are some club, and the moment you are part of them, you attain more sense of how to say, satisfaction than what you do in your office. Sometimes you don't get opportunity to uh, do the justice to your passion. So if you're passionate about something, you do that job, get connected with professional organizations, and that overwhelming satisfaction can give you more happiness. And when the happiness is more, or satisfaction is more, it's less likely that you will have a time for a negative thought. So once again, I'm trying to sum up the entire presentation with the 20 stress management strategies which you can carry with yourself. Learn the time management, efficiency in planning your activities and allocating your time for research, teaching, clinic, personal life is essential for you. Set realistic goals. Do not set unrealistic goals. Do not increase that work overload for you. Master the craft of saying no. There is one book, it's a international bestseller book, like Art of Saying No in 500 ways, or sorry, the Art of Saying No in 500 ways. Please check it out, read it sometime. Prioritize task. If everything is priority in your life, then in reality nothing is priority in your life. The Pareto's 80-20 law applies over here. Only 20% of activities or things can take that priority shape in your life. 80% are always secondary. Choose what are those 20%. If you say oh, entire 100% are priority, then no, it's not justifiable. Learn effective communication. There are many people who are not trained to communicate effectively. Open and honest communication with colleagues and students and peers, it can help so many misunderstandings in your life. And sometimes one misunderstanding can create enormous stress in your life, believe me. So please apply the principle of mindfulness. Be alert, be cautious, and practice effective communication. Be open and be honest. Okay, life is very simple, my dear friends. Sometimes we unnecessarily complicate it. Don't complicate anything. Delegate when possible. Don't hesitate to delegate your task to students, research assistants, or your team members. Because if you are a PI of a project, this is what your duty is. If you are a chairman of a student, this is your job to guide the entire research project and help your student to write a thesis. It's not your duty to write his thesis or her thesis. Please be realistic and talk about work-life balance. Think about work-life balance. Practice about work-life balance. You are immediately replaceable in your office. If something happens to you by next day, the moment you retire, someone else will get your charge. But you are irreplaceable in your family. No one can take your place. So you work 8 hours in office in such a way that you can happily live the remaining 16 hours. Okay. Regular breaks are very important. In one particular research, it was found that we Indians are funny people because we think taking vacation is a big crime. My boss will become very upset if I take a vacation. See, this is a kind of a mental utopia or mental state of utopia wherein you are creating your own prisons for yourself. Okay, break the shackles. If you are tired, if you need a break, you need a break. Apply for the vacation and go to the break. Go to the vacation. Sometimes, if you are not taking break and if you are working continuously, then you are creating a lot of disturbances in your life. You are not working productively. So please understand, vacation is part and parcel of your life. Whenever you get a time, take a break, spend time with the family, energize yourself, energize your soul, come back, work with the highest possible efficiency, plan for the next vacation. Self-care was the first strategy, my dear friends. Please prioritize your physical and mental health. So three things: exercise, nutrition, and proper sleep. Mindfulness and relaxation are like nowadays in this particular stressful world are the most promising pillars for your happiness or to maintain the productive equilibrium of your mind. So please spare at least 10 to 15 minutes for meditation, relaxation, and then spend entire day with the mindfulness. Okay. If you feel that you are stressed, learn to identify it immediately so that you can take quick action to minimize it. And if you feel that your peers, your colleagues, they are in stress, offer help. Help them, counsel them, provide support to them. Okay. And if possible, you start working on the effective stress coping strategies. For example, follow your hobbies, follow your passions, spend some time for regular meditation. Yoga is the biggest gift given to the entire world by the Indian civilization. So nowadays, entire world is celebrating International Yoga Day and they are doing it. So who is stopping you? You please practice some yoga or yogasanas and you will definitely find that it is also a very fantastic approach to awaken yourself. Build your supportive network, strong supportive networks with the colleague, and especially with those who understand the academic environment. Okay. अमोल ने बोल दिया अभी कि भाई सपोर्ट नेटवर्क बढ़ाना है, सपोर्ट नेटवर्क क्रिएट करना है तो चाय वाले से दोस्ती करके आते हैं. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. The people who understand the academic environment, you please make or you please build your network with them. Okay. Resilience building is very important. The moment we talk about climate change and sustainable development, one of the strategy is building the resilience in communities so that they can mitigate or nullify the adverse impacts of a climate change. Same thing. If you want to mitigate the stress, if you want to minimize it, if you want to deal with it in a very confident way, then please go with resilience building. And therefore, you have to attend certain programs and you have to follow certain practices that will help you to build emotional resilience as well as the adaptability. कुछ लोगों का क्या है, अभी 5 साल के लिए ये बॉस है एकदम हैप्पी हैप्पी, बॉस चेंज भाई एकदम नाराज, नहीं मेरी और उनकी तो बनती नहीं. आपको किसने बोला? नहीं नहीं वो तो वो अलग डिपार्टमेंट से, वो तो अभी वो इस डिपार्टमेंट से है तो अभी वो उसी डिपार्टमेंट के लोगों को प्रायोरिटी देंगे. ये हो गया मेंटल प्रिजन, ये हो गया मेंटल ब्लॉक. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. आप आपके काम पे फोकस करो. एंड इफ यू नीड हेल्प, even if professional help, don't hesitate to consult to therapist, psychiatrist, or counselor. Go to them, talk to them. They are really professionals. Within few minutes, like if you talk to them for 15 minutes, you will feel relaxed. They have certain mastery in their field. Okay. Ethical decision making is very important, and please hone your skills or mental frame in such a way that you will be able to take or make right appropriate ethical decisions. Because if you make any unethical decision in your life, sometimes according to the law of karma, it hits you back. And when it hits you back, it puts you in a massive moral distress. So please, जैसे करोगे वैसे भरोगे, ऐसे कुछ होता है. जो बोया जाएगा वही पाया जाएगा. ऐसे कुछ कुछ हमारे वर्ब्स एंड प्रॉब्स है ना, हिंदी में है, संस्कृत में है, हमारे मराठी लैंग्वेज में भी है. सो व्हेनेवर इट्स अ मोरल डिसीजन और एथिकल डिसीजन, प्लीज डोंट टेक डिसीजन, लर्न टू मेक डिसीजन. ओके. And structure stress management programs if possible. See, my dear friends, I'm trying very honest with you. One small session with me won't help you to effectively manage your stress. You have to really attend professional workshop, minimum 2-day workshop on a stress management to understand how to really practice this mindfulness, how to really build your resilience, how to turn the table of a negative thought to the positive thought. So just by theory, I cannot perform surgery on a dog to fix a fracture. So it is as simple that, okay, please, if possible, attend some structured program from the experts. Supportive work environments, they are very much essential. And in your employee group, you try to create that support for everyone. Open your heart to them, your friends, help each other. And when you are in team, because academia, research is a team activity. Team is very important. Okay. And sometimes your leadership and mentorship plays massive role in your life. So please choose your mentors wisely. Okay. We dream of a very happy, luxurious life, and we follow some cricketers and follow some Bollywood entertainers. We want to live life like them, but we are stuck somewhere in academia. See, there is a balance. If you are in academia, some good scientist should be your role model and not a footballer. They are entertainers for you. Learn the difference. Choose your mentors wisely. When you have your good mentors with you, they can provide you definitely a good guidance, emotional support, and whenever or whatever is essential for your stress management, they are ready to help. Yeah, I told earlier also, vacations and sabbaticals, take them regularly. There is no point in saving 300 vacations in this particular life and getting some fat amount at the time of retirement. uh, that money you will use only for medicines. If you save that money of a 300 leaves na, you will only use it for medicine. There is no other way for it. And learn to say no. I have already said this to you in my presentation. Master the art of saying no in such a way that no one will feel offended and you will be contributing to your priority activities without any disturbance. Stress acts as an accelerator. It will push you either forward or backward, but you choose which direction. Stress is definitely, it will definitely act as an accelerator. It has a power to push you either in a forward or backward direction. But ultimately, if you are practicing mindfulness, if you are alert, if you are awake, you can make a right direction. That yes, it's a negative thought, and I don't want to go to the backward, I will go to the forward direction. And you be the master, you be the controller. So while doing anything and everything, please don't forget the India, don't forget the Indian farmer. This will be your like a high level goal in your life, that yes, I'm working for the sustainable development of this planet. We are working for feeding like more than 1.35 crore people of this particular wonderful country, that is India. Keep celebrating your Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav, and thank you so much for inviting me to this presentation. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amol, for your excellent and wonderful talk on the topic of stress management. And I hope that it must have been a very rich learning experience for everyone present in the winter school. So we are really grateful to you for this very good lecture.
Thank you,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah. And now I would request that the participants, they can ask questions to the speaker. Everybody is appreciating because stress is one thing which we all go through. So that is very good.
If you are feeling stress, sir, please identify the signs, whether it is emotional stress, physical stress, or psychological stress. Once you understand, okay, this is physical stress, do something to relieve it. If you feel it's an emotional stress, then please, okay, it's a time to talk to the colleague. Or if it's that is not enough, experience sharing is not enough, go for asking the medical help or the professional help. If you feel it's only one negative thought which is causing the stress, okay, no problem. Think, and try to convert that negative thought into a positive opportunity for yourself, or try to find any other good thought, alternative thought, encouraging thought, higher level dream or higher level goal thought, which will help you to counter it. कि अरे भाई इतनी छोटी चीज मुझे परेशान नहीं कर सकती. अब sometimes when I was in IRI and I was doing something, लोग आके बोलते थे, अरे सॉरी सर मैंने आपको डिस्टर्ब कर दिया, because my study schedule was from something like 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. That was my study time when I was preparing for ARS and all. तो कोई अगर आके मुझे ये कहेगा ना कि सॉरी सर मैंने आपको डिस्टर्ब कर दिया, मेरा फर्स्ट रिएक्शन था, आप होते कौन है मुझे डिस्टर्ब करने वाले? आपको लगता है आप इतने क्या बहुत बड़े योद्धा हो या बहुत बड़े सुपर पावर वाले कोई आयरन मैन वगैरह हो कि आप मुझे डिस्टर्ब कर दोगे? अरे आप मुझे डिस्टर्ब नहीं कर सकते, बताओ क्या काम है? सो द मोमेंट इवन इफ आई एम डिस्टर्ब्ड व्हाइल स्टडीइंग, I have to turn the table by telling them कि नहीं आप मुझे disturb नहीं कर सकते. I was a student leader and that's why sometimes people will come at night 2 a.m. also. अरे सर उधर झगड़ा हो गया, वो दारू पी के गड़बड़ हो गया. You have to be ready. Okay. So please turn negative thought into positive one. This is very important, my dear friends. Yeah. Any other question?
One question from Dr. Vishal Kotwal. He's asking, sir, please enlighten how to handle the trauma of bad results of treated cases.
Sir, this is very, very, how to say, difficult question. And that trauma, if it remains with you for a long period of time, then it will become a burnout. So what was my first and foremost submission to it? You, whenever you are making or you are in a position to make a moral decisions na, you don't take a decision, है ना? Sometime अभी भाई ने बोल दिया तो बोल दिया, भाई ने हो गया तो कर दिया. That attitude is something which will create long-term trauma or burnout in your life. But if you feel this is very important, ethical decision, in that particular time, you spend appropriate amount of time, consult your peers and think what is the best possible moral decision. Because when you are treating a case, you are not alone. There is like anesthesia guys there, 1 or 2 surgeons are there, orthopedic guys there. I don't know, like maybe you are 4 or 5 people. So if you alone take a decision in hurry and you operate that particular case, maybe after a few years you will realize that साला मैंने गलती कर दी थी उस दिन ना, मेरी वजह से वो जानवर उस दिन मर गया, मेरे गलत कट की वजह से शायद उसका कोई वेन कट गया था. Something like that might happen. But when you are 4 people, you are making decision and then 4 people are in consensus कि नहीं डॉक्टर साहब हमने हमारा पूरा प्रयास किया था, हम चारों मिलके कर रहे थे, हम तो कोशिश कर रहे थे यार, हम तो डॉक्टर है, हम भगवान थोड़ी ना है. तो we tried our best but we could not save that animal. This will help you to release that negative trauma of that particular case. But as I said, my dear friend Dr. Vishal, sometimes if you do wrong now, it sticks to your heart, and that is why the job of veterinarian is very, very sensitive. Your job, like I was not aware of, like I was not exposed to the life of veterinarians, but when I go to TCI Pune and I saw the dedicated working style of Dr. Ethel sir and my friend Sangaratna and Dr. Bilegaonkar sir, then I realized how much dedicated these people are for the animal welfare. But the moment you are dedicated, you have to make certain decisions. And if you are not capable to make the moral decisions, ethical decisions in the right way, the trauma sticks to you forever. It acts as a long time burnout. So this is my humble request to you, Dr. Vishal. Please work in a team. If you are in a dilemma, consult your team, ask them, literally ask the question, is it the right thing to do? Is it ethical decision? Do you all agree? Okay, then let's do it. Take your moment, create consensus, and then forward. I hope it will help you to make good decisions, sir. It's very difficult, but please practice it. Thank you for asking a very difficult question.
Thank you, Dr. Amol, and all other participants are also very much appreciating the talk. That's very good, and we are happy that they are satisfied with this.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Pleasure is all mine. Ma'am, the 2 participants have raised hand, Ankita Modi madam, yes, and Alvina madam. So if you have any question, I'm not able to understand. If you have question, you can ask or put in a chat box.
I think it is by mistake only that.
Okay, then yeah, no issue. Thank you from my side then.
Yes, Dr. Amol, in the end, again, I would once again like to thank you for taking your time for this lecture. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Pleasure is all mine, ma'am. Thank you so much. Looking forward to be with you all again. Okay, have a nice day. Jai Hind, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.